Alright, next we have a Chapter 3 Season 1 themed reload map. Now this one, probably I would say is my favorite out of all the ones we have in this video. Now this one has 2 biomes actually, which I think the Squid Games map has 2 biomes kind of, but they're kind of very samey and they're basically just different colored grass, so this one would be a bit more extreme than the reload map. Or the Squid Games map, I should say. We have the Desert Biome, which has 2 POIs. We have Schlonker Speedway, which is obviously returning from Chapter 3. And then we have Order Outpost, which is like an IO kind of base. So it's kind of a generic IO base. You know, considering how important the IO and the 7 were to the storyline of Chapter 3, I thought it was just fitting to have like an IO POI. We also have some 7 POIs on the grasslands area, which we'll get to in a second. Down in the bottom middle-ish, I guess you could say, we have Windmillville, kind of rolls off the tongue nicely there, I guess you could say. This is kind of based on that one island off the edge of the map that had like the windmills on it, you know? That kind of got removed like halfway through the chapter for no reason. Kind of weird. But that's kind of what that island's based off of. Obviously it's not exact because it has houses and stuff, so you could actually warrant it being a named POI. So there's that. We have Small Sanctuary. I just felt Sanctuary is a bit too big to be like a full POI on this map, so I decided to shrink it down a little bit. So now we have Small Sanctuary. Obviously, 7 based POI. Gotta have that. We have the IO on here as well. We have Devourer Dugout. This is kind of based on when they were digging out the Devourer in Chapter 3 somewhat, and they just kind of never finished. I think that was just like the tease, like, oh, the mech's gonna come back, the robot's gonna come back and for the live event, and then they just never did anything about it because this was there for the rest of the chapter and nothing came of it. So I think just fleshing out that kind of loose end, I guess you could say, into like a full POI, I definitely think is fun and interesting. We have Cuddly Campgrounds, which is kind of like a remix version of Camp Cuddle. It would be a bit smaller, so obviously just so we could fit more stuff on this map, but it would kind of have like the same kind of vibes, you know what I'm saying? We have Spillix Station, which is that one gas station that was kind of in the center area-ish of the map that like seemed to like always be really busy no matter what time you got there. Like at all times of the game, that gas station, there was a fight at it, like guaranteed. It's kind of crazy actually if you think about it. Like there's no reason there should be that many fights at a gas station. Kind of crazy. We have Sleepy Sound making a return. I just thought this would be a good POI to bring back. You know, feel like when I think of Chapter 3, this is one of the first POIs I think of, which might sound weird to basically everyone else, because I feel like when people think of Chapter 3, they think of the Daily Bugle, Sanctuary, you know, stuff like that. But I think of Sleepy Sound, because I used to land there quite a bit. And then the center POI in the map would be Greasy Grove.